Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Good Morning Show with Candy Bryan. I am here with two amazing powerhouse women. It is an exciting morning. It is Town Hall Tuesday, but we have a different spin on Town Hall Tuesday today, and you get to meet these two lovely ladies in just a second. I want to say good morning to you. The Good Morning Show is your place for faith in the morning. We are a faith-based talk show where we tackle all topics, life, faith, community. That's what we're about. So I want to welcome my guests. Good morning. If we have any audio or any, connectivity issues, I know that my guests will pop back in. So let's go ahead and welcome some folks to tuning into the show this morning. If you are tuning in and you would like to comment during the broadcast, just remember to go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Again, that's StreamYard.com/Facebook. I'm going to start my watch party, Rosine. So let's see if we can get it going here. I think I can. You probably can't because you're on the stream and you're on your phone.
On everything, but we'll see what happens.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So thank you so much for being my guest. We'll bring Cassandra on here in a second. I want to make sure that she's got some good. Ooh, I love that. I love the fact that you have all these devices going. Hey, Cassandra, let us know if you can you hear us, Cassandra? Good morning.
Yes, I can. I can hear everyone. Wow, everyone looks so beautiful.
Thank you. The ladies are taking over the town hall today.
Absolutely.
All right. So we're going to have our guests introduce themselves and tell you a little bit about what they do. I wanted to end the month on a positive note. The whole month we've had Town Hall Tuesday, and Town Hall Tuesday has been dedicated to having the conversation about Black Lives Matter, police reform, the social injustices that we see happening around us. And the guests on Town Hall Tuesday have been absolutely amazing to come and share their real thoughts, their truths. And so it's been amazing. And I thought, how can we end the month with a Town Hall Tuesday that is with people that are doing something positive in the Black and Brown communities? And these two ladies came to the rescue.
Yes.
Cassandra, why don't you introduce yourself? First, let's say good morning to a few people. Good morning, Nellie. She's a good friend. Hey, Nellie, good morning. Look who's awake.
Good morning. You know what? He can't even help himself. Good morning, Socrates.
Socrates is Cassandra's
Happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Socrates. Yeah, it is his birthday, so we've given him the morning off, and his lovely wife is here to introduce herself, their company, and their foundation, which we want to learn about. And then we're going to get right into Rosine Johnson, what she's all about. I'm so excited. Cassandra, would you kick us off?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Cassandra Exantis. I like to say I'm the better half of the dynamic duo of Socrates and Cassandra Exantis. And so I am the chief operating officer for 4 locations of a residential property management company called All County. And we own a consulting company, Critical Path Consulting, and we have just launched our foundation, which is why I'm here this morning. I'm so excited to share it. We launched it last year, but we've officially launched just a few weeks ago, and so I'm just so excited to see what's happening right now.
It's really amazing. So tell us the name of the foundation and a little bit about how people can get involved, and tell us, why did you start the foundation? What was the reason behind it?
Yeah, we talked about the fact that education is very important. But Socrates tells the story about, the fact that while he was a student at UCF, there were many times that, he wanted to drop out because of the financial burden. He didn't have the financial support that many of us have. And so if it wasn't for people stepping in and helping him get a scholarship in order to go to UCF, and that's how we eventually met. And just all the financial support that was provided out there to help support him so that he could not just get into school, but finish school. That's what prompted us to look at how can we help. And, we were talking about it, and we are actually the first generation to go to college. in both of our families. And in both of our families, you know, our parents weren't, you know, educated here in the United States of America. And so it's such a privilege. And we believe in our hearts that education is the equalizer. And I think it's how you bridge the gap. And, you know, with everything that's happening, everyone's always asking, what can you do? What can you do? And we said, you know what? Everyone has a talent. Everyone has a gift. This is where we can make an impact, even if it's just for one. And education is it. And if we can send students, not, like I said, not just send them to school, but get them through to the finish line with that degree, that diploma in their hands, that makes all the difference in the world. And so that's why we decided to start Legacy Cornerstone Foundation.
I love how you said that education is the equalizer. I can see Rosine getting fired up over there. She's yes, I know it. I know she's gonna just come with just some amazing news about her organization as well. Where can people find out about Legacy Cornerstone? I'm actually gonna pull it up here. Where would we go?
So it's lc-cornerstone.org.
And
lc-cornerstone.org. And if you log on, you'll see on the front page what I am super excited about. We literally just launched the website just a few days ago, and we're already at almost $8,000. And the goal is $50,000 for this year, $2,000 to 25 students. And this is just a start. You know, obviously the dream is to get bigger and better. And if you take a look at our board, we're very, very diverse on our board. And we have people from all walks, all backgrounds that are wanting to contribute and find ways to bridge that gap. I think sometimes people feel like it has to be, it's a lot of people. You hear him in the background?
That was the funniest thing ever.
LC Foundation, excuse me, lc-foundation.org. I apologize. He can't help himself.
That is hilarious.
lc-foundation.org. I apologize.
No, you're good. That was just so funny. We all needed that laugh this morning. That was her wonderful husband in the background. And I'm going to pull up the website, lc-foundation.org.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, if you take a look at our board, we have, you know, executives from all walks of life that want to help us bridge the gap. If you just look throughout history, some people, you know, we think that it's only people that look like us, that sound like us, that come from where we come from, that can be a part of the change. Not so. Traditionally, it takes all of us. And so if you take a look at our board, we have a group of amazing individuals that are going to be there to help us, you know, make this a success. I am so excited to see what's happening. And like I said, we've just launched 3 days ago and we're already at almost $8,000. And people have asked, how can we give back? How can we help? How can we, you know, do something about what we see, all these inequalities in our country? Here's one way you can. Give back to the students, and that's where you're going to start to see change happen.
I think going into our communities and bringing education, which is one of the most powerful weapons, and it being an equalizer, like Cassandra said, is absolutely amazing. I love your mission on your website here. It says to help keep Black and Brown students enrolled in colleges and universities and cross the finish line.
Get over that bridge. Get over that bridge.
Rosine, why don't you chime in here too? We'll jump into your stuff fully, but what do you think about Legacy Cornerstone so far and what education does for the community?
Okay.
For starting a foundation, it's not easy to do that. It takes great heart. It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of diligence to be able to do that. So kudos to you and your husband to want to give back in such a meaningful way that really truly has generational legacies attached to that. So that's amazing. I think that you hit on a couple of different things that I would just agree with. Cassandra, my new best friend, anytime I meet someone now, like, you're a friend of Candy, so you're a friend of mine. So we're best friends.
Nice.
But you said a couple of things that really just stood out, and I fully agree that education is the great equalizer. And when I enjoyed time sitting on the Valencia College board, one of the things that we discussed often in higher education is there are a lot of students of color that start, but there aren't many that finish. And one of the things that we were able to talk about, and I'm glad that they actually instituted, President Shugart and the board, they actually instituted basically an Office of Minority and Cultural Affairs with the whole intent to really truly bring programming, support financially, but also mentally, socially, and emotionally to students of color to help them finish. The reason why I bring that up is because your foundation is a key way that will help a lot of these students in our local backyard, whether they are at Jones or whether they are at Valencia, that need support to finish. This is what this is doing. And so that's incredible. So kudos to you. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Thank you very much.
But I already finished. But I really do. I wish it were available when I was going, because that was my issue too. I'm at senior year, about to graduate, and I get this bill that says you're kicked out of school, literally kicked out of school. My parents didn't have money. I had to search, and thank God there was a person on campus, literally, thank God. His name is Lenroy Jones. I'll never forget it. Lenroy Jones and Murray Edwards. And thank God they were on that campus at Michigan State University. And they said, we're not going to let you fail. And they found money. And I was able to graduate. But there aren't enough of those Cassandras and Lenroys and Murrays. And so I'm glad that you're there to help finish.
Yeah. And we recognize that. We absolutely recognize that. And Socrates and I, we sit on the board at UCF for integrated business, for the business school. And one of the things that we talk about all the time is you have to take a look at not just the student, but where does this student come from? And one of the things that I love about the program is that we're trying to teach them life lessons, because many times we get students that come from universities and they're not complete. They're not, they're not fully baked, if you will. And the program offers them real world life experience. But guess what? You know where they get those ideas from? It's from people like you and I who sit on the board, on educational boards, who give that feedback that say, hey, we noticed there's a gap here. There's something missing. And we need to make sure that we fix that. We need to address it so that when these students get out of school, they're prepared and ready to hit the ground running and go, as opposed to having to go through that learning curve, because we get them sometimes and they're green, and now you couple that with this scholarship, the funds. I think that we can exponentially impact these students if we all come together and just do our part. It just takes one, that's all.
Oh, that's so amazing. Let's get into some comments here and say good morning as we allow Cassandra to depart, because apparently today is her husband's birthday and he's in
Yes, it is.
So tell us really quickly, you said, what is your goal, your ultimate dollar goal?
So our goal is $50,000 this year. That's going to be $2,000 to 25 students. That's what we're trying to do. And like I said, we're almost at 8,000 now. And then at the end of the year, we're going to have a gala where we have a beautiful, beautiful dinner, a wonderful cultural show. And that's where we're going to go ahead and award these students with their scholarships. And we're hoping that sponsors will come alongside us and say, you know what, we can help you do more. But this is the goal for right now. And in the interim, what we're doing is we're trying to infuse our community by, I have an event that's called Sip and Listen. And so what we do is we put on live or we broadcast shows. It's a virtual event, a virtual poetry event. Mm-hmm. And the funds from that also we'll give to students immediately. That we cash app money to them. I can't tell you how many students we've sent money to, and they're like, you don't understand. My account was in negative because they were impacted by COVID. So that's what we're doing immediately right now. As a matter of fact, on Saturday, this Saturday, the 27th at 8 o'clock, you can go to the website speaktoexist.com
Mhm.
and purchase your ticket and come and watch a fantastic lineup of poets and live jazz music with Tony Wynn. And so we're doing that by infusing the arts, infusing poetry, and just bringing awareness to everybody about how we can impact our community. But as far as Legacy Cornerstone Foundation is concerned, this is a long run. This is not a short game. We're running a marathon, and we're preparing to impact our community big time. So
Love
please
it.
log on, make your donation. It's Let me make sure I say it right before birthday boy comes out here. It's lc-foundation.org.
.org. I got it here, and I know, right? The address police will be there to get you.
He will be there to correct me.
Legacy Cornerstone Foundation.
Yes.
Founders are Cassandra and Socrates Andes. We're so grateful for you. You have some comments here before you go.
Yes.
So I want to get into some of those really quick. And Sinead says, good morning. Good. She says, Sinead is always here. Thank you for being here. Socrates said, we'll give $2,000 to 25 students, which I think is absolutely amazing. And Sinead says, happy birthday, Socrates. Love you and Cassandra and giving back to the community. You've inspired her to pursue her own passion projects. Oh, you guys talked about passion projects. That's right.
Yep.
Doing what you love to do and making a successful business gives you back time to do your passion projects. Well, we want to thank you for being our guest this morning. We know you got to run to celebrate that birthday.
Yes.
And Sandra says, I see that you did the website in UCF colors. Yes, go
Yes,
Knights.
we did. Go Knights. Go Knights all the way. Now, the scholarships are not just for UCF students. We want to make sure everyone knows that. Like I said, when we get bigger and better, we can impact, so much more. So with together, all of us, we can make that happen. So thank you so much, Candy, for having me on the show. It was such a pleasure to meet you. I am so happy that I got a chance to be a part of this, and you're doing a great job. I'm so inspired by the women that you have on your show. And Rosine, I look forward to meeting you someday.
Yes, absolutely, best friend. We'll be together soon.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Tell Soccer to come back and watch the replay so you can hear all about Rosine and Pace Center and all of the amazing things she's doing. Bye. Have a great birthday with Socrates.
Bye.
Happy birthday.
Have a good one. Bye, guys.
Awesome. Well, Rosine Johnson is also our guest this morning on the Good Morning Show. Rosine, would you introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. Well, again, thank you so much for having me. I really, truly consider it. And your show is amazing. You are fabulous. And just all of the things that you have been doing, you've just been slaying it out here. So serious congrats to you. So my name is Rosine Johnson, and I am the executive director of Pace Center for Girls in Orange County here we're just outside of Orlando in Winter Park, Florida. And we have been a part of the Orlando area for about 25, actually going on 30 years. PACE is really designed to be able to support young ladies, teenage young ladies, teenage girls that are having challenges in school. Typically with our girls that are at PACE, these are young ladies that are experiencing school failure. And they're experiencing failure because of something else. So I think a lot of times when people hear that, they say, oh, well, I've had people say, oh, that's the school for bad girls, or that's just the school for bad Black girls. I've actually had people say.
Wow.
And what I let people know is that this is not a school for bad girls. This is a school that helps young ladies that have had bad things happen to them.
Wow.
So our young ladies are experiencing things that I think most of us as adults would cringe and would not have the fortitude to be able to overcome. Many of our young ladies are dealing with chronic poverty, chronic homelessness. Unfortunately, many of them have suffered abuse. We have young ladies that are survivors of human trafficking before they're 15 years old. So when we talk about the different types of traumas, if you will, or adverse childhood experiences these young ladies are going through, PACE becomes that safe place where they can be nurtured, where they can be educated, but also where they can learn to advocate for themselves. We are one of 21 centers across the state of Florida. And so we are a network that is changing really the lives and the generation of young women across the country. We actually have other centers now that are opening in Georgia and others throughout the country. But the bottom line is that it all boils down to this quote that basically states that when you educate a girl, you're educating a generation. And I think what we have to remember is that mothers are the influencers, and girls become mothers eventually. And so we become the influencers, and many times we become those leaders in our families. And once that influencer has been educated, and that influencer has been exposed and gained economic empowerment, you now can change the trajectory of an entire generation through that person. And that's really the power of what we're doing at PACE. It is intergenerational, multi-generational. It's also about social justice, recognizing that most of the young ladies that attend PACE are young ladies of color. So they are not just Black, but they are also girls of all different hues and backgrounds. But recognizing that many times girls of color are disproportionately expelled from school at an alarmingly high rate, actually higher than boys. Girls are actually expelled from school and or entering the juvenile justice system at a national level at a higher rate than boys. And so what that means is that our girls need a different type of approach. They need additional supports. And that's really what we do at PACE. It's all about behavior modification. It's all about recognizing the good and the positive. And it's all about really ensuring that our girls get the knowledge they need to be successful.
Absolutely. One of the most amazing programs I've ever seen or been a part of. I was able to go with Women on the Rise. Shout out to Women on the Rise, Orlando, if they're watching. And I was asked by Tracy to come out and do one of her Time for Tea events. Yeah. Mind you, I worked in Winter Park at the time, and I had no idea what I was walking into. And I was just like, sure, I'll come out. I had just won Mrs. Corporate America 2019. Yes. Shout out to Mrs. Corporate America.
Yes.
Look, there's a theme here for everyone who's watching. Good morning, first of all. Welcome to the Good Morning Show. But connections.
Yes.
Rosine just met Cassandra. I met Rosine through going to this wonderful organization. I'm a part of Women on the Rise, Miss Corporate America, all of these wonderful. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying Anissa's on our board with Miss Corporate America. So it's amazing connection. Yes, and
Anissa was the one who connected me as well and told me about the organization. So I show up for this Time for Tea, Rosine, and it was the eating room or the lunchroom, right? And it was just tables and chairs. When Tracy and the ladies of Women on the Rise walked in there with basket loads of decor and tea items, the little cups and the flowers and everything, they transformed that lunchroom. And when the girls came in for their tea time and for this wonderful organization that Tracy owns as well, I just saw the potential of these girls, how sharp they were. You can tell some of them had been through some things. And I was looking at just their resilience to be there and to be pushing forward with your help and with your organization's help. So thank you, Rosine, for all that you're doing for these girls.
We have, I remember that day vividly. I took a lot of video and I did a lot of pictures, and you're right. It was so beautiful. I love how you captured when they walked into the room, because that's what I was trying to capture on video. When they walked into that room, and again, shout out to Tracy. Boy, we thank you, because that was her mastermind, and it was beautiful. But it was almost just as you said, you could see the potential, you could see the innocence, but you could also see the strength that was behind each and every one of those girls. And so, I am not a team of one by any means. It is truly our incredible staff. I am fortunate to work with such amazing and skilled counselors. Every girl counselor that works with them, that really helps them navigate those hurts that I think a lot of times, even as women, as we grow up with, we never deal with those things. And how powerful is that to kind of face that demon right there in that moment as a young person and say, I'm going to overcome this now and not wait till later, right? So that's what counselors are doing. And then we have teachers that many of them are coming out of the public school system, but they're coming out of the public school system because they want to be able to really hone in on the individual needs that these girls have. And, you know, I'll quickly jump on and jump off my educational soapbox. So I've had the opportunity now. Oh, yes, ma'am. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, and also I want you to speak to Jacqueline's story, or one of the stories that you have, any of the girls. I'm sure you have lots of stories, but if you can add a story into what you're about to share, I just wanted to mention.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I do have so many beautiful stories of our beautiful girls, and I could talk about them all day, but I think the key from an educational perspective and why our teachers choose to come to PACE is because they want that personal touch, and they want to know that they can truly make a difference in the life of a young person, that they have the flexibility to adapt their curriculum, to adapt their lessons, to make it relevant for those girls. And so you see Jacqueline's story there. One of our shining stars. Jacqueline started with us when she was in middle school, ended up going back to high school, joined us back again in high school at PACE. And when she started, Jacqueline was very, very behind credit-wise. She had had a lot of different things going on, a lot of transient issues happening in her family life, but she was very determined to not only graduate, but to graduate early. And that's exactly what Jacqueline did. I don't even want to use the word force. Well, she forced us. She forced us to make sure that we were giving her the work that she needed to be able to push. And she pushed herself when she realized that she could. And that's the beauty of what happens to young ladies when they get to PACES, is that they finally have a network of people that believe in them, that say, you can do that. You can reach the goal. So Jacqueline not only graduated from high school, she actually graduated a year early, and she pushed herself to do that. We have two beautiful young ladies that just graduated. We did a virtual graduation this year. I don't think I've ever cried as much as I did in a graduation doing it virtually.
Yeah.
And to just hear from these girls, and, you know, this obviously has been a really rough time, you know, especially for kids. I don't think everyone realized the impact of the pandemic and closing schools and all of that on what that was going to do to kids. And we had to take all of our girls that were so used to being in the building and seeing all of our faces and having that network of family and being connected to each other, and take them all virtual. For many of them, that was probably their hardest kind of obstacle to overcome, because virtual learning is not easy, especially when you may already have some challenges. So fast forward, we're grateful that our community stepped in to make sure that our girls had the technology they needed. We had 40% of our girls that didn't have technology or even access to the internet. So how can you go virtual without that?
Right.
So gratefully, we had a lot of people in our community step up and make sure that we did that. And when I mean these girls pushed, it was the end of March. They took their classes, they finished their classes, and when Orange County called, that is our partner, when they called to say these girls have been cleared for graduation, I think we all cried. Give up. And one is getting ready to go into the military. So grateful for her service, knowing that this young lady with such great morals and great character is going to be one of the people that is going to make sure that I and the rest of us stay free. That's amazing.
Yeah.
And another young lady that is already on her path to fulfilling her dream, which is entrepreneurship. So, you know, our girls are all different shades, colors, backgrounds, but one thing they all have in common is their resilience. And I think through education, through exposure, and through empowerment, when we empower these girls and all students economically, that's when we really begin to change the bar. And the more we can get kids going into colleges, the more we have the ability to be able to help them go into entrepreneurship, which is also what we do. the more we're empowering our community to be able to fight the injustices that are happening. It's not just about race. This is also about economics. And the more we have the ability to be able to help our students transcend that, that's when we'll see true change.
I think it's absolutely amazing. You have some comments here I want to get into and engage with our audience here, because a lot of the people who are watching can sense, if they don't already know about the organization, they can sense the value without them digging in just yet. But I think as of today, we have a few people that are watching that are ready to jump in. Sandra says, I'm the girl, would love to volunteer at PACE if the opportunity exists.
Yes, it fully exists. We're doing virtual volunteering right now until we are back into the building, which we will be reopening in August. I am more than happy. I think my email is right up here on the screen. So please, 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 please email me or even Facebook me. My Facebook is Rosine Johnson is my name, and I would love to connect with you. Thank you. We are looking for all types of volunteers, male and female, to be able to introduce and expose our girls. So
that's absolutely amazing. Good morning, Marita. She's part of the Miss Corporate America organization as well. She says, amazing organization.
Aww. Heart.
So, you know, what's really amazing is as I'm looking at the list of people who are leaving comments, I can see so many mentors on here, so many women that have walked through their own challenges in life. And right now I'm looking at how successful some of these ladies are. I know them personally. It would be so amazing for them to come and mentor. And Shanae has a question for you. So this morning, as we wrap the broadcast, first of all, thank you all for tuning in. It is Town Hall Tuesday. We've been speaking to two amazing people that have been impacting our community, Black and Brown community, in the education area, which is, I just love the way that you and Cassandra both see this as the equalizer, that education means that we can impact generations. Mm-hmm. Generations can change through education. And so leave your questions here if you have questions for Rosine or Cassandra. Shanae says, what does virtual volunteering look like?
Sure, great question. So right now, as we are continuing on quarantine, we actually are having volunteers come in and support us through either Zoom or Microsoft Team volunteering opportunities. So it allows you to be able to do speaking engagements with the girls. We're actually working with an organization right now where they will be doing virtual cooking classes. We have agencies that are interested in doing virtual financial literacy courses. So taking everything that we would have normally done in the building and bringing it to bring it virtual. And actually, it's so funny. I'm so glad you mentioned Tracy, whom I love dearly. We're actually in talks to create a virtual tea party for the girls this summer. So yeah, basically just finding a way to pivot. We did it in person. How do we do it virtually? So chat with me. Let me know what you're interested in, and we can find a way.
Thank you, Shanae. We appreciate that question. And so as we wrap, you know, I wanted to actually go back to something I wrote in the post that was letting everyone know you were going to be on today, because you are so amazing at celebrating these young ladies, celebrating your team. Can we celebrate you, Rosine? Can we do that?
Okay. Okay.
So, and I only have a snippet of her bio, but Rosine, you were recently honored as one of the Women of the Year in Orange Appeal magazine. Can we get some clap emojis? Good morning, Show family. That is so amazing. And then I'll move on to the next award. But tell us a bit about that honor.
I was totally blown away, completely blown away. Had no idea it was coming. Christy Ashby and Kate Lentz are just women that I have looked up to since I moved to Orlando. And to be on the cover was one thing, but to be able to be named among the women that I was named with, I cried. I legit cried. When you see the women that that are just doing such amazing things in our city, our country, in our world, I asked Christy, I said, "Are you sure you mean me?" And so it is. It's very, very humbling. There's great responsibility. But I just think, honestly, I'm doing what I love, and what I love is helping kids, helping families. And if that leads to people recognizing the work that we do at PACE, then I'm all for it. So thank you for that. That was very sweet.
Well, it's usually people that humbly serve that really never, ever will talk about.
Oh my gosh.
They will never talk about the accolades and kind of the thank yous that go on behind the scenes, because truly, sometimes it's a thankless job in education, right? Sometimes you get to see where these students go, but there are times when maybe you don't hear from people that have been a part of your organization and they've truly been impacted. But there is Rosine's beautiful smile on the Orange Appeal magazine amongst some powerhouse women, as you said. And no, we are not surprised that they chose you. You might have been surprised, but we're not surprised. So tell us about this next, we're going to talk about this next honor. And you were named in Orlando Business Journal, top 40 under 40. Yeah. Tell us, first of all, we need some more clap emojis. So thank you, Shanae. She got some clap emojis there. Woo! This is our studio audience. So tell us about this wonderful award.
I cried again.
You're just a crier.
An emotional person. My husband and my friends are like, you're just like our sentimental friend. But I cried again. And I think that one, first of all, these are huge honors. And I'm not from Orlando. So let me back this up a little bit. I'm actually from the Midwest. I'm from Michigan. And so a lot of these things have happened in honestly a very short time. And I just think, honestly, I just put my hand to the plow and I worked and I served. And there were people that nominated me. And what was so beautiful about that class I was a part of, but to think that people would nominate me based on the work that I was doing in education, I was one of the few people. I think that year there were maybe only 2 or 3 people in nonprofits, period, that were selected. But I don't take that lightly. I am. I was again just blown away at that honor and that title, and recognizing that it just means that I'm on the path to doing something right. Right. No one goes into nonprofits or no one goes into mission-based work because you're looking for these types of things. You do it because it's in your heart, and you do it because you care. And for me, I do what I do because I love kids. I love kids and I love their potential. So again, if all this means is that more people are connected to the cause and the work that I'm doing, because that will be my life's work forever. I do it in my church. I am a happy children's leader. I do virtual church with our kids every single week, and I love it. It is literally the highlight of my week, of seeing these little kids get so excited about God and get so excited about doing great things and being kind to people and just having godly values. That's literally the light of my week. So if all of this just is, I just think it's all a reminder that you're on the right path, and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and my purpose is kids. So thank you for that, though. That's really sweet. Thank you.
I love that. Your purpose is kids. And, as we're wrapping this, thank you for bringing this month to a close. We've had some really tough discussions, and we've had people come on that were really hurt and really angry. But we needed a safe space to talk about these things. And I'm glad that we were able to do that. And now talking about how do we move forward? One of the ways that we create social justices is that we are educating our babies, that we're raising up that next generation. I love that you said your purpose is to raise up this generation. Well, Rosine, we are so grateful. I'm going to make sure I put up the PACE Center. Can they reach you at this website? I'm going to pull it up really quick here.
Yes.
Okay.
It's pacecenter.org. They can reach me there, or at my email, which is rosine.johnson@pacecenter.org.
I will put that in our comments section. Not in the comment section, but I'll put it in the post so that anyone who goes back and watches the replay will be able to see that. So I would love for all of you to go reach out to Rosine today. Don't wait, because you'll say, oh man, this was so inspiring. This was great that, this guest on the show today. And then you'll have all these things try to come up. These kids really need you. They really need for all of you men and women who are watching to step out and to, Anna says, How can I help? She's from New Jersey. So we have people who tune in from all over. Is there a way to give to
I
Orange?
love Jersey.
Yeah, I'm a Jersey girl. Is there a way for people to give?
Yes, there's a way to give. So you can give and donate, and that will be at pacecenter.org. You just need to choose the Orange Center. So when you go to pacecenter.org, you'll see a section that says donate. You'll scroll down and you'll pick Orange because that's our county center. So you can do that. We also have drives. So we have people that have been doing supply drives for us. So not only have they been donating, but they've been doing supply drives because we're not in the building, right? So our girls, many of the basic needs that we will supply them with that we consider basic are not basic for them. But even during this pandemic with job losses, et cetera, our girls haven't been able to have direct access. So we do home visits and we deliver things like hygiene items. We've been delivering food. We've been delivering lots of different types of things. So we have people that actually do online supply drives. And if that's something you want to do, email me. I can give you the address of where you can ship it. They buy it on Amazon, ship it, and we give it right out to the girls. So those are,
Wow.
And then of course, virtual volunteering, you can do that from anywhere.
We absolutely love that. Thank you, Rosine Johnson, for being my guest on the Good Morning Show. We're going to let you get your day started because apparently you are a very busy woman with all of the wonderful things that you have going on. You are welcome to come back anytime and give us an update on the wonderful young women at PACE and your other projects. I would love for all of you to go out and subscribe today. If you enjoy the Good Morning Show and daily inspiration, if you like to wake up with faith in the morning and you wake up with us, first I want to say thank you. And I would love for everyone that's still watching, go ahead and hit the share button. Send this out to whoever is supposed to be watching this to be inspired this morning. Also, subscribe at candybrine.com. There are podcasts, there are replays of videos, and then I'm also sharing on how you can bring social media into your business strategy with live streams, and I'd love to help anyone who's interested in that. So go check out candybrine.com and subscribe today. Rosine, thank you again. Have a great day. All right, you guys, until tomorrow, it is Wednesday, and we'll come back with another amazing show. We're going to be wrapping up our month and just bringing inspiration every day. Thank you all for joining. Have a great day, guys.